Hey friends, I just wanted to hop on here today and read our 2 chapters of Junie B. Jones. I've had a super busy day. I went to Greenville, and went to Target and did some shopping, and I just got home from working out. That's why my hair is a mess. So I'm just now getting around to making the video. And I apologize that yesterday the second video didn't upload, so I had to do it this morning. It didn't tell me that it didn't upload, and I didn't realize that until this morning. So I apologize for that. But anyhow, we have Everett here with us today, and we're going to go ahead and get started with chapter 3. So, chapter 3 is called Laughing All the Way. We went to the sing-along after lunch, and the auditorium looked like Santa's workshop. There were a jillion cute elves in that place, and wait till you hear this. Room 1 got to sit in the very front row. I sat there in my seat right next to my friend Herbert. This sing-along is going to be fun. Right, Herb? Right? This sing-along is going to be the best time of our life. Just then, May plopped down in the seat on the other side of me. I stopped smiling. That seat is saved, May, I told her. I am saving it for someone else. She looked all around. For who? She asked. For someone not you. That's who, I said. May did not budge herself. You can't make me move, Junie Jones. This seat is public property, she said. She scooted closer to me. I'm going to stick to you like glue. It's the only way to make you behave yourself today. I showed her my teeth, and I made a grrr noise. May did not look fearful. Finally, I moved closer to Herb, and I pretended she was invisible. Pretty soon, the sing-along got started. Mr. Toots had to turn to page 1 in our holiday songbook. The first song was the 12 Days of Christmas. It's about a guy who gives his girlfriend a bunch of stupid presents. I tapped on Herb real curious. What would you do with 10 Lords a-leapin', do you think? I said. He thought for a second. I'd take them back and get some store credit, he said. I nodded. That Herb has all the answers. After that, we sang Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Winter Wonderland. Finally, Mr. Toots stood up at his piano, and he said it was time for Jingle Bells. Room 1 hurried to the stage. It was very thrilling, except for May kept on sticking to me like glue. She stepped on my heels going up the steps. Then she crowded in real close to me, and she whispered in my ear. I'll be listening to you, Junie Jones, she said. I'll be hearing every word that you sing. I smiled to just myself, 'cause I had a surprise up my arm. That's why. Pretty soon, Mr. Toot raised his hands to start the song. I stood up straight and tall, and then I took a deep breath. And I sang the words out loud and clear. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, oh, the fields we go, laughing all the way, ha, 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 bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright, what fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. My eyes glanced over at May. Her face looked disappointed almost. I smiled, and then took another breath, and I sang the chorus in her ear. Oh, jingle bells, Batman smells, P.S. so does May. I throw May right off the sleigh, and then I drive away. Hey! yelled May. I laughed at that funny comment, 'cause hey fit right into the song. Room 1 sang the chorus again, but I was laughing too hard to sing. It was the joke of my life, I tell you. Only too bad for me, 'cause as soon as we got back to the room, May tattletaled her head off. It was not good. Mr. Scary called us up to his desk very quick. He said he is very disappointed in both of us. Only unfortunately, there's not enough time left to send us to the office. I started to relax a teensy bit. Only just then, the bad news came. 'Cause what do you know? Mr. Scary said there was exactly enough time for him to write a note to our parents. Okay, so we're going to read chapter 4 too, since that one was kind of short. And it is called going last. So I'm thinking that this might be a part of their punishment for what they did. Because they couldn't go to the principal's office, so I think this might be their consequence. So let's read to find out. Chapter 4, Going Last, Wednesday. Dear first grade journal, Mother and Daddy were not good sports about the note. They said that it is not funny to throw someone off a sleigh. They made me laugh all over again. I got sent to my room for a timeout. Grown-ups do not understand humor. From Junie B., first grader. I put down my pencil and I glared my eyes at May's head. She did not look up from her journal. I know you're staring at me, Junie Jones, but I don't care that we got notes sent home, she said. My mother was proud of me, in fact. She said that you deserve to get tattled on. I glared harder. Sometimes if you glare harder, you can melt people's heads. I saw that on a movie commercial once. It was PG-13, I believe. I kept squinting and glaring, but May's head did not melt. Finally, I rested my eyes. I will try to melt her again at lunch. Just then, Mr. Scary stood up at his desk, and he said to put our journals away. Boys and girls, today is the day of our first visit to the holiday gift shop in the media center. Remember, he said, I sent a notice about it home to your parents last week. He smiled. Today we'll be just looking at the gifts, he said. Then on Friday, we'll go back with our money and buy the things that we want. I waved my hand all around. Guess what, Mr. Scary? Guess what? My mother said that I get to spend one whole dollar on every person in my family. And that adds up to $5 entire, I said. Lucille raised her hand. I can spend all the money in the world, she said. I'm rich. She stood up and fluffed herself. My family has more money than they can shake a stick at. Mr. Scary stared at her a real long time. Yes, well, fortunately, we don't need to be rich to shop at the gift shop, Lucille, he said at last. Everything there is very affordable. Do you know what the affordable means? I do, I called out. Affordable means cheap. My grandpa Frank Miller loves cheap. Sheldon jumped up. Hey, my grandpa loves cheap too. My grandma calls him Cheap Old Ned. Mr. Scary did a chuckle. Before we go to the gift shop, we're going to draw names for our Secret Santa gift party. That way, you'll be able to look for your Secret Santa gifts while you're down there too, he said. We've been talking about this party all week. Can anyone tell me the most important rule about being a Secret Santa? Room 1 shouted the rule together. You must keep the secret. Mr. Scary did a thumbs up. Yes, excellent. After you pick your name today, you must keep the name a secret, he said. If you don't keep the secret, then you're not really a Secret Santa, are you? After that, he carried around a basket with everyone's name in it, and all the children closed their eyes and they picked a name. Only too bad for me, 'cause I'm the very last seat of the very last row. And so when Mr. Scary finally got to me, there was only one dumb name left in the whole entire basket. And here's the dumbest part of all. My teacher pretended that I should be happy about it. Congratulations, Junie B. Jones, he said. You have the honor of choosing the final name. I drummed my fingers, very annoyed. Okay, see, one name left is not actually called choosing. I said, one name left is called take it or leave it. I crossed my mad arms. I hate being in this seat, Mr. Scary. I hate it. I get all the bad stuff back here, I said. Even on the very first day of school, I got the only crayons that were already used. Mr. Scary looked up at the ceiling. Yes, Junie B., I know that. We all know that, he said. You mention it every time we color. I looked at some of my friends. Did I mention that my red crayon wasn't even pointy? Because it wasn't, you know. My red crayon was already roundy, said Lenny. Yes, you told us that already. I drummed my fingers some more. Did I mention that my greenie was broken in half? I asked. My greenie was just a teensy little stubby, said Jose. See, you told us that too. Mr. Scary handed me the last name. Look, right now someone in this room is counting on you to be their Secret Santa, Junie B., he said. So you really need to read the name. Now. I did a sigh. And then I slid down in my chair real glum and I read my name. What does that say? May. Oh my goodness. She chose May. Oh my goodness. This story is about to get good. So, tomorrow we'll read chapter 5, and it's called Elf Ladies. Now, before I sign off, I just wanted to remind you that on Friday, from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you can come to the school to pick up your stuff. You're going to come through the front car line. That'll be, you're picking up all of your materials. You're picking up your awards. And I believe that's all. But it's a big bag of stuff. A real big bag of stuff. Your arts and crafts and things like that. Now, also, you need to bring me all of your packets that you've finished. So if you haven't finished yet, you have, what's today? Wednesday. You have Thursday and then part of Friday to finish. Okay? So it's very important that you get that done so that we can get it graded so that you can go on to second grade. Okay? And I would love to see you. So if you could come with your parents, then we can kind of say bye to each other. And I would love to do that. I would love to do that. So, finish your packets. If you finished your packets, you can read. You can do fun things at home, spend time with your family. But just make sure that you get those packets done. Okay? Alrighty. Well, I will see y'all again tomorrow. Bye, friends.